ABS. Let's turn on some. Could you go do a 1 toilet flush down here and then turn that sink on cold? Cold. It's working. It's going downhill. It's going downhill. Intrusion there, maybe. Now this is all ABS. Yeah, we're almost vertical.
Really?
It's not so good there. Belly there, maybe. No, you're good. Now this is SR30. This is SR30. There's those turns there. Or if they're going around a tree or something. Let's do another toilet flush there.
Another one?
Yeah.
Keep the water on?
Yeah, I'll leave that water on. Probably going to want to run a snake through this thing. It's not flowing out very well here. Yeah, so now I'm up against something. You're going to want to run a snake through this line. That's not what we should be looking at. I'm way out there. This is a 200-foot cable. So we're completely underwater here. So I can't really advise you on the line when it's full of like this. Can you see that camera there? So it's hard for me to advise you. The line should be, there shouldn't be any water in the line. Does that make sense? So I'll be recommending that you clear it and rescope. You can see where we go back to where we're out of the water kind of there, but you know, there shouldn't be any water standing in that line.
What's the...
And I just shoved, you know, this thing through that stuff.
What does that mean to you that there's standing water there?
It's either the line's flat or there's a plug, you know, that's backing it up. Let's get to a point here where we can see the... I mean, we've got a lot of good line here. This is a super long line. We should be able to get to the point where we can see where it's actually. Okay. So it doesn't seem to be backing up. Let's see here. Do another toilet flush. It could just be flat. The water's still running, right? There was that toilet flush. So you probably just have like a belly in the line and some stuff in there. Oh, there it is starting to back up. You see that where the water's climbing across the screen? Kind of going down. You know, I don't really have a line clearing tool here. This is not a line clearing tool. Let's do another toilet flush. Right here was where That's just a lot of water in the line. Okay, now I'm up against a solid, so I can't get past this point.
How do these pipes
Yeah.
get...
So we can't get any farther than that.
I mean, how is it possible that pipes, like, get this kind of back up or damage? Like,
Well, there, you know, there's an issue here, or we'd just be able to go all the way to the main, you know. I mean, there shouldn't be any water or debris in the pipe if it's installed correctly along its whole path. Now, that said, it's kind of surprising because this thing goes down, so I don't know, I saw a weird turn kind of in the middle of this, which might have meant they were going around like a tree or rock or something, you know, so that slows you down, the turns. I can show you where those are. You know, my biggest issue with this is, I mean, it should get cleared and try to rescope, but I mean, I can't advise you when we're just looking at water, you know. We need to be looking at an empty pipe, you know, like this. But when there's a lot of debris and paper, etc. in the pipe, it's difficult to advise you on it. But, you know, that said, I got, you know, I looked at 100 100 and some feet of line here, and most of this was new. So I'm thinking they probably replaced the line. The neighbor might be able to, this was shared, I believe. I think that was shared, right, when I showed you that map. So the neighbor might have some information on the line as well, because they are sharing this.
Right, so I mean, the line that goes from here to Maine that we share is good.
No, I got to, I can tell you probably about 75 feet of it is.
Well, right, but so this house and the neighbor, meet, and it's good here until it meets, and then we're good for, not all the way to the main, but we're good for somewhat down the hill.
Yeah, you are, probably like 75 feet or better.
So what happens
What I
if the
could
problem
see
is
here.
down below that we share? Right?
Yes,
How does that work?
when we should look at that map again.
That's
But
a
yeah, it would be a
problem?
shared, this would be a shared expense, for sure. But since we're here,